Hey guys, my name's Ty. Um, I gotta say, I have no idea, what I'm doing, recording this. Um, I'm not a person that generally gets in front of cameras. I don't take a whole lot of videos or pictures or any of that type of stuff. Um, but I have to say that the spirit has, kind of led me, guided me to, reach out to, I guess, I don't know, the masses or whatever, and kind of share some of my experiences. So um, I'm gonna, take a cue, from a real close friend of mine, Mike Aldrich, and say, I don't care how many people watch this thing or, how many views or clicks or subscriptions or any of that type of stuff that I get. Um, None of that stuff matters. It's just I have, the strong inner thing to kind of express some of my thoughts and feelings on certain things. Uh, and this is, where the spirit led me. All that said, first of all, let me kind of touch on what I mean by the spirit. I know there's all types of references and connotations that go along with that term. Most of them are associated with, the religious aspect, I guess. Uh, I'm really not religious at all. I mean, if I had to identify with any religion, I guess it would be, Christianity, given the fact that I grew up in the deep South and, your grandma makes you go to church and, all of that type of stuff. And that is where I get, my base spirituality from. But I would say that, the spirit is much greater and larger than anything that a man-made religion can, put a finger on. Um, so, that being said, I see, not I see, I think, everyone sees that the spirit is moving in such a way where, there is a great force being, kind of, working in opposition to, the forces that have been laid out in front of us by traditional media, and so on and so forth. There's obviously a lot of negativity that people put out, whether it's on YouTube or in music, movies, whatever the case may be. It's I think, we all think that it's pretty ironic that, uh, somebody that maybe pushes a message or, promotes, their videos about, abstaining from premarital sex or, not engaging in, watching pornography or traditional, male woman relationships, with marriage and children and, all of those things. I think we all find it ironic and strange that some of these big corporations, YouTube included, they'll, ban your videos or, take your videos down or, paint you out to be a heinous monster for promoting those values. However, some other people, are, using their platform that reach millions of people to promote just the opposite of that. They are promoting, promiscuity and, pornography and, you know, all of these different weird things, drug use and all of this stuff. And not only do they not get taken down, their videos get promoted. They don't even have to do paid promotion. The algorithm picks up this stuff. So, kind of skew everything back on track. I noticed that there's a positive force that I guess is awakening people or, awakening YouTubers or just everyone in general, particularly men. I see a lot of men being moved by the spirit uh, these days. And, I just think that that's, that good energy, that good pure energy that exists around us, that's, giving pushback to the powers that be. Um, that being said, you dive in a little bit as to, what my interpretation of what the spirit is that I keep referencing to. How I always put it to my son, and, again, removing the religious aspect out of it, the spirit is the divineness that exists all around us, the jelly that floats around us all. I know in physics or science or whatever, they're still trying to figure out what dark matter is. And hey, 70, 80, 90% of, the known universe is filled by this, matter or antimatter that we just can't pinpoint what it is. And who knows? I could be dead wrong, but I like to think that that is, the spirit. It is the ultimate creator. It is the thing that it is the glue, the jelly that binds all of us together. And when I say us, what I'm referencing to is, obviously humans, self, you, anyone else, uh, plant life. Like I have a plant here, you can't see it. Rocks, ants, bugs, sea creatures, all of that, the sea itself, the earth as a whole. We are all connected through this divine oneness that is the spirit, you know. Um, that's just my interpretation. Again, you may have your own interpretation, and that's fine. I'm certainly not the authority on that type of stuff by no means. Um, it's my firm belief, again, my personal opinion, that this force that exists around us all wants to live and operate through us. It created this earth here for us and all of the other living beings for a reason. What the reason is at large, I have no idea. Again, my interpretation, as a human, I think that our job here is simply to work and do a job, and in the meantime also build memorable experiences for ourselves, our fleshly selves as a human, just for our own personal selves. But back to the job part, I just flat out think that it is our job to uh, allow the spirit to work through us through our lifetime, regardless as to what area, industry, talent you have, or whatever the case may be, whether it's music, whether it's, real estate, like myself, I'm a real estate professional, whether it's, you know, creating buildings or, whatever it is that you do. I think that it is our job to, for one, connect with the spirit that exists around us and allow it to work through us and to accomplish those things, whether it's building countries or, making great music that influences people's lives in a, positive way or whatever it may be. It's our job to allow the spirit to work through us to do those things. Kind of like right now, I feel like, even how I'm speaking to you right now, I think I'm an excellent communicator and, I speak well and I'm articulate and all those things, but this isn't really something that I don't have anything written down. I don't have anything in my mind per se. Uh, I feel like this is the spirit, just flowing through me right now. So, again, number one, that, is our job. And, number two, our job, and this may rub some people the wrong way because I know there's this whole movement now about don't have kids and don't have children and, oh, my life is so great and grand because I don't have children. I can do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. But, to me personally, I think that's an abomination because to, kind of go into the second thing I was going to say is that it's just my firm belief that, not only it is our job to allow the spirit to live and work through us, it's also our job to create new life on this earth and to guide them in the I'm sorry, in the correct way, um, so that they can continue that process of building and allowing the spirit to work through them. so that, continue, and, we just continue to have this, ongoing thing over and over and over again. And it is my firm belief that, if we as humans collectively, you know, could do that and live up to the expectations that the Spirit has for us, that we would literally create, heaven on earth. I think, I don't think anyone on this earth is special, well, more special rather, or more significant than the next person. I don't care how much money you have, I don't care how smart you are, I don't care how poor you are, I don't care how much you've been through, or whatever the case may be. I think that we all are equal in that the Spirit wants to, and wants to, work through us and have a relationship with us, and, develop our, talents and taste and, skill sets and all those things, so that, again, on a fleshly level as humans, for our own individual sake, that we can enjoy those things and, have a good time while we're here on earth, and, also do some good work, while we're having fun and building good memories and so on. Um, that's just, my belief. I think, those are, the two main things, and everything else under that kind of takes care of itself. Um, so, why I think the Spirit has led me to hop on this video and, say these things, or, whatever the case may be, I have no idea. I would like to think that most people think like that, but that's obviously not true. And that's certainly not to say that again, the authority on those types of things. Is just, this is just what the Spirit has led me to do. Uh, that being said, you take a person like again, I don't mean to get, religious or anything like that, but, for the sake of making this point, I have to bring up Jesus, from Christianity. I think to a certain degree, if you actually read the story and, listen to Jesus, he, certainly wasn't going around asking people to worship him. What he was doing by, doing some of these feats, or assisting people, or, kicking knowledge to people, kind of like what I'm doing right now, is just basically spreading the message that, hey, man, what you're witnessing with me is God, the force working through me, and delivering messages through me, and assisting people through me. And what he wants to do, he sent me here to tell all of you that he wants to do that with all of you. We all could be Jesus, you know? And I mean that in all, respect. I know there's a lot of people out there that will hear me say that and immediately get angry, or they're gonna, put in the comments, "Oh, you could never be Jesus," and, all this stuff. And I'm not here to debate that. I understand that. I'm certainly not here to preach people putting in their head that they're a demigod, or that they're, you know, God on earth, or to go around saying that they're Jesus or any of that stuff. I just think that the broad message, encompasses, hey, we are, high level beings. God makes it clear that he, I don't care what Bible, or what, Quran, or, Kabbalah, or any religious text that you could think of, they all say the same thing, which is that, God made us in the likeness of him, or them, depending on which text you read. Um, and just wants to, live on this plane through us, and allow us to, find enjoyment and seek happiness and so on, and create heaven here on earth through him, and vice versa. That's it. I don't think it's any more crazier or deeper than that, you know. Um, so, that's just, my feelings and, interpretation. So what I would say to that is that, for the most part, most of us are operating with such a high level of negativity, for many different reasons. Maybe, personal things that we're going through or that we have gone through, or, trauma, through childhood, or, you know, uh, the music that we listen to, obviously the foods that we eat, all of these things that we all hear on a daily basis that we know about, negative music, negative food, negative, people around us, negative situations, and, we carry on all of these things within us. We make them a part of us. And, one thing that, again, I don't care what religious text that you read, it makes it absolutely clear that if you're living in negativity or you're carrying around too much negativity, that that is in direct opposition of the force that exists around us. Uh, to a certain degree, you could say that maybe that's why some of these powers that be force so much negativity around us. Maybe that's why they force so much negativity in the music and in videos and in food and all of these types of things, because they don't want us all operating in harmony and so on, and having the force live through us. Maybe these powers that be know this and they are in direct opposition to it. I have no idea. Um, I'm certainly not a conspiracy theorist. I don't know if there's some cult or something of lizards that's running the world, and I don't know any of that stuff, but I know what I see, which is kind of going back to the first thing I said, which is that it's clear as day that there is some force that operates that wants to see the suppression of conventional, traditional, values, for lack of a better term, uh, and what they have in place of removing that is negativity. Like I think there's this one guy that does YouTube. I'm not going to mention names or channels or any of that stuff. It doesn't. It's neither here nor there. But this guy, he's he has a popular channel. I don't know, maybe millions of subscribers. I don't know. Plenty of videos. He promotes porn, promotes crazy music, drug use, all this weird stuff. Hey, come sleep with my wife, and you can win the opportunity to, man, all that stuff is crazy, man, and it's negativity. And it almost seems like some of that stuff is geared towards teenagers and children, which is you know, strange. um, yeah, the force that exists around us isn't with all of that. You can't be engaging in all of this negativity and all these negative behaviors and have the force, work through you as an individual. So what I would say is that, whether you're pumping yourself up with all these toxic foods, or whether you're watching porn every day, you got a porn addiction, or you're you have some form of drug or alcohol use that you're, performing every day, or whatever, or you have all these strange, thoughts going through your mind, violence and sex and, all this crazy stuff that they, promote out to us. I guess I'm just here to say, man, nothing good is going to come out of that. Um, I wrote a book about a year ago, speaking about some of these things, and I'm not here to promote my book. I'm not even gonna mention the name of it. If people are interested, you can hit me up privately and I'll, share it with you. So I'm not here for that. It's just that, I kind of got into talking about, some of our neighborhoods here in the United States, and I guess across the world. Everywhere has a hood or a terrible neighborhood, or gang violence or any of that type of stuff. And, when you take a step back and you watch, the images and, how people live day to day in some of these places, you can see why there's so much negativity. You know, if all you listen to is music, talking about opt this and opt that and switch on the Glock and, shoot this person and shoot that person and murder, murder, murder and all of this kind of stuff. And, all you eat is, hot dogs and, cheese and potato chips and soda every single day. And, all you talk about or all you're around is, people talking about, their side woman or side man and getting some liquor and getting some drugs and all of this type of stuff, man, that's all pure negativity. So if you're walking around, if you're constipated all the time, your stomach's all blocked up, you're all bloated and stuff, constantly eating, cheese and processed foods and potato chips and, soda and stuff, and you're walking around angry and you got a gun and the only music you listen to or the only thing you put in your subconscious is negativity or, any of that type of, what do you expect is going to come out of that? Seriously, I'm asking myself that. What do you think is gonna come out of you filling yourself up with pure negativity? And I'm certainly not here to, say that again, I'm some Jesus-like character or that I'm some divine person or anything. I've had my own negativity that I put in my own life over the years, and I would say that in the last couple years, the journey that I've been on, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, and all that stuff is, maybe that's why God is, kind of putting me in this direction, maybe to share some of these things, man. Anybody that knows me personally, like anybody that's watching this, for one, you may be sitting there like, man, wow, man, what's Ty talking about? This isn't Ty when he was 16, or this ain't Ty from, 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, and it's not, Um, I engaged in a whole host of negativity on many different levels that just did not end up serving me right, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, so on and so forth. You know, I think a lot of the things that I started to value were in direct opposition of with the force that surrounds us once for us all. You know, the spirit, man, it can't do what it needs to do. It can't operate, man, when you're, filled with all this negativity and doing all this negative stuff. It just doesn't happen that way. And I think what we're witnessing right now, whether it's with guys like and now here I'm going to mention a few names, and I know some people are going to maybe feel some type of way or happen to go, oh, this is a terrible person. How could you say that? But it's just my personal opinion. Again, I'm no authority on anything. You want to you want to get my professional opinion where I know what I'm talking about, come ask me about real estate. But other than that, this is just my opinion. I'm watching, people maybe like Russell Brand or Andrew Tate or anybody, just you can go on and on and on and on, with all of these people that they, had lived lives of negativity and had, engaged in so many negative, things that, as far as life, from, being extra promiscuous to, drug use to promote negativity to the people that followed them, and so on and so forth, man. And I gotta say, man, I was right there with them, man. Again, promiscuity, drug use, alcohol use, leading others astray, all of these things, man, you know, just things that I'm certainly not proud of. And, the people I just named, they're clearly not proud of that too. Now, my grandmother used to tell me something all the time when I was young, which, and I'm paraphrasing here, when you're living in negativity and you're doing all these, bad things, I guess, um, you're not going to see any opposition. You, in some aspects, you'll get rewarded for it. Uh, what she told me was you're not gonna start seeing any pushback until you start living in a positive way and, you know, being a positive light bearer. And boy, she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. It's the absolute truth. I think there are many examples that we all could look around, with people that, when they were living in pure negativity and, promoting all kind of crazy lifestyles and stuff, everything was fine. Everything was good. It was, party on. The moment that person said, hold on, light bulb, man, this isn't right. Something ain't right about this. Let me start marching in this direction. You start seeing everything, fall down. Their whole world crumble. And the reason why their world is crumbling, is because all of that stuff is fake, man. What I can tell you, at some point, I'll get into, my background and some of my experiences and stuff, but not in this video. It's not what this is about. But when you are, doing a lot of those, negative things, when you're engaging in a lot of negativity like that, you're gonna find that, man, things, are good. I'm having all these pleasurable experiences. I'm, doing this, I'm doing that. But then I think everyone that has lived that type of lifestyle can relate to this, which is that you get to a point where you realize that you're empty inside and you don't feel loved. You don't find any real enjoyment, through any of these things. You kind of just get to a point where you're almost like operating like a robot, like where you're just doing some of these things because you don't know why. You're like, I don't find any pleasure in doing any of this stuff anymore. I don't like how I feel after I do it, but why do I keep doing it? I would say that it's mostly, because the imagery that surrounds us of, what we perceive to be success or having a good time or all of that type of stuff. Again, there's some force that's operating that just wants to pump out nothing but negativity. They want to show us the FBG duck murder video. They want to maybe I shouldn't have said that word, I'm sorry. They want to show us this guy with tattoos all over his head and his face, hey, you know come sleep with my wife. You can spend the night with both of us and all this crazy stuff, man. Like, you know, I just genuinely personally believe that it's not natural for a human to just want to live their entire lives, engaging in those things. I just personally feel like those are all images and imagery that is like thrust upon us by, some force. Now, to a certain degree, there's another side of that too, where, we have dopamine and serotonin in our brains, and, there's the pleasure seeking aspect of some of those things. But I'm more so saying, once you cross the threshold of actually getting the chemical high from those things where it doesn't even get you high anymore, to do some of those things. When I say high, I'm strictly talking chemical, in your mind. Uh, you get no pleasure out of those things after a certain point, but you still keep doing it. And then you keep promoting, then you're promoting it to other people. You get to a point where you say, well, I don't feel anything for those things anymore. Let me go get my buddy to do it. Maybe if he does it with me, I'll get some enjoyment out of it. But let me get my boys together. Let me get this and let me add this person in. All you're doing, man, is just spreading more negativity, and you're gonna feel worse and worse and worse. What I could say on the other hand, and I'm kind of getting close to wrapping this up because my computer's about to die, but uh there's no joy, there's no fulfillment from within that you will get like what you get from dropping a lot of those things and allowing the spirit to work and live through you. That's where you get the ultimate fulfillment. I hate to break it to some of y'all that maybe haven't touched X amount of dollars yet, or you're striving this and you're like, no, no, no. Like, I know for a fact, I hear you, but I know for a fact if I get a Ferrari or if I get a fine girlfriend or blah, 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 that'll just make me, I promise you, I can promise you that that's not true. It won't do anything for you. You'll feel good in that very moment for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a few weeks or months or whatever, but that's not where humans find true happiness from. And the unfortunate part about that is that you have to go through those things to find that out. Or, maybe you listen to people that are experienced. I don't know. It takes a person that has made money to come back around and tell people that haven't, like, hey, man, that stuff ain't what you think it is. As a matter of fact, once you get past a certain point, again, there's that threshold. It actually causes more issues in your life than anything. You might not want to go that way, or you might just want to go halfway down that road. Or, man, young man, sleeping with a bunch of different women. I don't care how gorgeous they are or any of that stuff is not fulfilling at all. It's not what you think it is. And as a matter of fact, again, you'll cross a certain threshold where you'll start looking back on those experiences and it's pure negativity. You're not even looking at that like it's a good time anymore. I don't care how beautiful or sexy, fine, or whatever she is. It's not good. It's not good for your spirit. It's not good for your mind, any of that stuff. And, you know, again, removing the religious aspect out of everything that I'm saying, if you look, throughout history, it's evidence and validated by what I'm saying is that, the spirit wants to work through us all, man. It's not just Jesus, it's not just Muhammad, it's not just, characters in the Bible or something like that, man. God worked through, the force worked through Confucius. The force works through, like I said, musicians and, people of all, aspects and, different, forms of life and, different levels of life of prosperity and, all types of stuff. Like, you know, you don't, you don't have to be some, clergyman or high level being or a wealthy person or a person that has been through a crazy amount of traumatic experiences or any of that type of stuff, man. Allow the spirit to work through you, man. You know, um, I'll say this, kind of getting back to, what I said in the first couple minutes of the video. I find that a lot of us go through life, we have our own experiences, maybe through, childhood or adolescence, our teen years, young adult, whatever. But we go through these different experiences and, we add on armor. We go through something and we say, oh, not gonna let that happen again. Put this on. Oh, oh, I see this is what's going on. Let me put my helmet on. Oh, this is what people are doing. Let me start doing this. Oh, not gonna let that happen. Let me put this on. And then by the time years and years and years have gone by, particularly, by the time you're, I guess mid, late 20s, 30s, whatever the case may be, everybody's got their own journey. Uh, you start to look around and realize, like, man, I feel like over encumbered or something. There's something like weighing me down. Like, what is that? What's weighing me down like that? And, what I could tell you is that when you come to that realization, when you start feeling that way, and I'm probably gonna wrap up the video on this note, uh, man, that's the force telling you, man, drop all of that stuff, man. Drop all of that armor, man. You don't need to carry that no more. Let me carry that for you. That's what Jesus, in my opinion, is essentially about the whole, story, the whole, what God is trying to get across. Man, I have come down. in human form and showed you guys I've been, an example of how to do this thing. And I'm gonna take the burden of all of this stuff for you, man. You don't have to carry all of this stuff with you. And particularly once I start working through you and I bring you into my kingdom, man, you definitely can't be carrying all that stuff with you. You can't be wearing yourself down with all that stuff because all of those things that you have put on over the years, it's all negativity. And I can't work through you with all this negativity that you got carrying around. So, that's what I got to say, man. I'm gonna start doing these things. Again, the spirit has led me to do it. I'm gonna start dropping these videos. I don't know, maybe every morning, like my boy Mike Aldrich. Check out his videos. Um, or maybe every other day, maybe once a week. I don't know. Whatever the spirit wants. That's what I'm gonna do. And love everybody. Stay prayed up, man. Get off that negativity. Man, you know, all forms of negativity, man. Get off that weird music, bro. Man, get off the drugs. Uh, get off that nasty food. Get off that soda. Stop watching porn. Stop, being promiscuous. Find you a wife, find you a husband, have children. Do things, as my grandma used to say, the right way, and allow the spirit to work through you, man. And then watch, for one, watch what you get out of life on a material level, and then also watch how fulfilled you feel from within. Watch how good you feel, man. You know. So much love. Thank you. You guys have a good, blessed day.